Hello, Peter. Nice to have you with us again. Let's continue on then with our conversation about the Peter question. Who do people say that Jesus is? In our first session, you answered the question what that means, the Peter question. This session, we'd like to maybe pose to you, why do you think Jesus asked that question of his disciples? Do you have an idea?
Yes, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, there's a sense in which, of course, Jesus, being Jesus, knew already in his heart what they understood. And in that sense also, Jesus knows today how you and I feel about him, how we understand who Jesus is. And anyone watching this video, Jesus already knows the answer to the question. But in asking the question in that way, he compels us to confront the reality of who he is. And he also compels us to, as it were, get it in alignment. What is my answer to this? How do I respond to this? So I think that's why he asks it in that way. And then the supplementary, perhaps, question to that is, how am I going to respond to the question that Jesus asks? Do I respond by having faith in what he has achieved and then determining to follow him? Or do I respond by ignoring it or declining the offer of life which ultimately that Jesus gives?
Indeed.
So the question compels us to really get our own understanding in order.
Thank you. So what truth do we need to answer as we focus on the Peter question? Who do we think Jesus is? What truths do you think we need to focus on?
Yeah, you're going to remind me who it was, George, but someone once said that in the claims that Jesus made about himself...
Oh, C.S. Lewis, yes.
C.S. Lewis, thank you.
Right, yeah.
He was either telling the truth or he was telling untruth, in other words, lying, or perhaps between those two he was completely confused or deranged.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's actually quite a good way of putting it. So again, it compels us to answer that question. Is Jesus telling the truth? Is he telling untruth? Or is he confused about the real issues? Now, Jesus said an awful lot of things about himself. I jotted some of them down earlier. The great I am statements of Jesus, mainly found in the Gospel of John. I'll just rattle off the top 7 here very quickly. John chapter 6, I am the bread of life. John chapter 8, I am the light of the world. John chapter 10, I am the gate for the sheep. And also in chapter 10, I am the good shepherd. Chapter 11, I am the resurrection and the life. Chapter 14, I am the way, the truth, and the life. John chapter 15, I am the true vine. Now, that's a lot of big claims to make about yourself. So the disciples would have heard Jesus describing himself in these ways. But the question for them, and it's still a question for us, is Jesus telling the truth about these things? And perhaps most compellingly, I'm going to choose John 14, verse 6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Huge claims to make.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Okay.